Hello, Marky Dragon, also known as Marcus Eikenberry in real life, and welcome to Eve. So, today we're going to talk a little bit about faction warfare and exactly what you can do with these loyalty points to make all of this moolah. Right now, I am working in faction warfare and I'm making about 135 million per hour if I consider that each LP is worth about 1500 ISK. And so here is my faction warfare character, or my ship that I've been using. And I have been fighting for Amar. Now, Amar is part of the 24th Imperial Crusade, and so I had to go find a station where I could spend all of my loyalty points. There's only a couple of them that are in high sec. High sec is important because you don't want to redeem all of this stuff in low sec. You're going to have a harder time getting it to market. So here's what happens. You go out and fight. You go out and capture one of the offensive or defensive complexes, and then you get awarded with loyalty points. Those loyalty points then are used, so I have over 1 million here. Those loyalty points are then used to make purchases in these special faction stores. And so here I am at this faction store, and I've got all these choices here. Now, I'm looking to spend 1 million loyalty points today and then take the product to market. You can see here that really, if I wanted to spend all of my points and buy just like 4 of these, Armageddon Navy issue, ships here. They look quite impressive, by the way, that I could just take and buy 4 of those and be done with it. Now, there's some requirements on this. It doesn't have a buy button here because I do not have the required product in order to make this purchase. It costs 250,000 loyalty points, no ISK, but it requires 2 items. These 2, the Armageddon and an Amar TIL-1 Nexus chip. And if I had those, then I'd have a buy button there and I could buy this. And so we've got the cost of these items, and then there's the loyalty points, and then we see what it would sell for in the store. Now, out here, I'm out here in the boonies. I'm in the middle of nowhere. It's like being in Egypt. Well, not that Egypt is nowhere, but so there's none here to be found. But what we can do is we can go to this this web page here. Let me find it here. It is okay. It is right here, Fuzzworks, and we go to the LP store. There's a link in the description if you're watching this on YouTube. So I say I understand. 24th Imperial Crusade, it happens to be the first one in the list. We do not select anything with blueprints. I'm selling everything in JITA, so I'm going to select the Forge, and then I select based on sell prices. Okay, so what we've got here is we've got the Armageddon Navy issue. Okay, so let me type that in. Okay, so now we've got the Armageddon Navy issue. It shows us here that what it costs and the items that are required. And so this is basically the cost of the items required, especially if you did like a buy order to where you're trying to buy. You can get that cost down if you think about this way ahead of time and buy at a low point on the market when somebody's just looking to get rid of their stuff. And then the estimated sale price on this is 365 million for this ship. A couple of them have sold in the last 24 hours. Now, this tells the ISK per LP. And what this says is that basically for each point of LP I've got over here, that I'm going to get 752 ISK if I sell it, if I bought these 2 items for this amount, and if I sold the ship for this amount. It's a little low. we should be able to get 1,400 to 1,600 ISK per LP. And so this one really isn't a very good deal. But it would be easy because I only have 4 of them, and it can equal 1 million LP, and I can come up with this stuff and I can convert it pretty quickly. So if I'm in a rush, maybe I would do that. But I consider that to be not a very good deal. So what we're going to do is we're going to order this by the LP per or ISK per LP, and this very first one, I'm ignoring it. It's a 55,000 valuation. It's really pretty incredible, and the valuation on that is just super high. I looked at the market on this, and you can look at the market history, and you can see here that really only a couple of these have sold, and that the price might be suspect. So I'm leaving that one alone. Now, I have taken several other of these here from this site and said, okay, I'm going to take some chances on these and do these. I made a list here of everything that I've done. This spreadsheet, by the way, is available for those of you on Twitch right now. There is a link to it, and then if you're watching this on YouTube, there will be a link in the description to this so that you can see here what's going on. Okay, so the first item that I chose is the Imperial Navy Remote Capacitor Transmitter, and it's right here. It says it has 38,000 ISK per LP. That may be totally crazy, but there was a little bit of traffic on it, and it seemed like maybe I could actually do this. And if I have to discount it a little bit, then it'll still make some pretty good money. Okay, so I'm only investing in one of these, and the volume here, right here, this one tells me that it doesn't move very fast. If I go down to some other items here, like this one is 19, and so basically, if I understand this thing right correctly, 5% of the volume is this number. And so, like when it's, if this number said 100 down here or whatnot, then at 5% of the volume, it'd actually be like 2,000 or 20,000 or whatever the math works out to be. Anyway, so the higher the number, the greater the volume on there, and the more marketplace there is to sell these. Okay, so what I had to do is I had to come up with everything that I was going to buy, and the items that were required. I've got items all through here, and I've got other secondary items, and there was even some of them had tertiary items that were needed. There was an ISK cost to all of these. See, like this one right here, I was doing 45 of these Imperial Navy large remote capacitor transmitters, and I needed Republican Fleet Commander Insignia 1s. Cost me $485 million for 45 of them. And that may seem totally nuts, but these sell for a really huge amount of money. And so basically, what we're doing here is in fact, let me just find this one on the list here. So here it is right here. Look at this. 29 of them was the 5% of market, and they cost 10 million LP per LP to buy each one, 4 million ISK for manufacture, and then it requires all of these items right here, which it says is 14.5 million, and then it sells for 38 million. And so that comes out with a valuation of just over 2,000 ISK per LP. And that's a pretty good thing. That's a good volume, pretty good here, gives me some room. to do this. So, okay, now I've got my list. I'm actually going to pull this list off to the side, and I'm going to go through and redeem a couple of these, and just to show how that's done. So the first one is the Imperial Navy medium remote capacitor transmitter. And let's see here. Close this, and I'm going to go down to I. There's not a good there's not a good way of going through these items here, I've found. So, okay, Imperial Navy medium remote. Imperial Navy large. Okay, so where's the medium? There it is. Okay, so this is the item right here. It's the Imperial Navy medium remote capacitor transmitter, 3000 LP, like I was saying, 2 million ISK. Let's see here. That's not what I had here. Imperial Navy medium remote capacitor transmitter. I had the wrong amount of ISK that I wrote down. I wrote down 3 million, and it actually needed to be 2. Okay, so I'm going to change that. That was just a typo. So, not that it changes everything in a huge amount. So I'm still at almost 1.7 billion needed. Okay, so I have these 2 other items that I purchased, the medium remote capacitor and the Republican Fleet Commander thing. They're cut off on the edge here, but I'll show you here. So I have this right here I purchased. It was 80,000, not a big deal. This Commander insignia was 10,800,000. And so got both of those. I have them. Now the item is lit up over here so that I can buy it. And I've got all the items here. I purchased all of them and brought them all over. Ignore the cat booster. I accidentally got that in there somehow. It wasn't supposed to be in there. And so I got all the items. I bought them all in Jita, by the way, and brought them here. If I wanted to make even more money, what I would do is I would fly all over the place. I would use the website like Eve Central, and I would look up where I can buy it the cheapest. And if it was worth my time flying out there, I would fly out there and get it. And you can make even more money that way. Or you place buy orders at a good deal, and then you can do that. So, okay, so here we go. I just buy that one. Just buying one. Some of these I'm buying multiples. I think this one was just one. Let me look here. Yes, it is just one, except, okay, so I'm about to trade all of this. Am I sure I want to accept this offer? Yes. Okay, so here it is, my Imperial Navy item, and so view market details. Nobody's selling it here. I'm just out in Egypt, like I said, or, well, you know, way out. Okay, so this Imperial Navy item here. So what have I got as a total cost into this? I've got 10.8 million. So that's let's just call that 10.9 million, 12.9 million plus 3. Oh, that's why I messed up. Golly, really? Did I mess all these up? So yeah, it is 3,000. Golly, why am I looking at these things wrong? Okay, so anyway, that's what I spent on that. Okay, so now let's look at what I can sell that for here on Eve Central. it'll tell me, what the marketplace is looking like on these. And okay, so 129 million right now is what it's selling for. It cost me, what is it, 12.8 million. So there's 100 and some odd million left. What is that? 117 million left, divided by the LP that was required, 3,000. So 17 divided by 3,000 LP, it's 39,000 LP, or 39,000 ISK per LP. That is an incredible amount. Now, so that's a ton of money. And the thing is, though, this moves very, very slow. So it doesn't sell like hotcakes. And so since it moves so slow, it needs to you need to have time. Now, in my first experiment here, I'm really seeing how much I can sell within 30 days. And since it was showing a volume of just one being posted, I do have some sales stuff, but one being posted within the last day, I didn't want to risk that I would be able to not be able to sell it. Now, there's some other factors going in on this, which is that in the faction warfare, how it works is that these tiers affect how much money you get, how much LP you get per capture. And with the MAR being tier 4, it's really paying really, really high right now. Now that's causing something else to happen, which is that the marketplace on items is going down. And so anything that has to do with the MAR is going down. So all the Amar faction ships right now are at almost a yearly low right now because they're dropping so fast because everybody's making all this bank on the LP, and then they're converting it and they're selling it, driving the market down. So if you are doing market trading, you would pay attention to this, and all of the Amar special stuff is going cheaper and cheaper and cheaper right now. And now's the time to put out buy orders, because we were looking at ships yesterday, and some of these ships that go for 65, 68 million normally are right now, people are selling them off because they're getting such good money on this right now. They're just taking them to JITA and filling buy orders and selling them at like 48 million each. The average sales price is like 55 right now, or 54 million. And the market is going down because there's more coming into the marketplace than what there is buyers looking to buy them right now. And so if you hold on to them, when Amar is not tier 4 anymore, when it's down to like tier 1, that's going to be the time to sell. Because at that point, nobody is generating LP in there that they're trying to sell, and they are then the price starts going up. So right now, if you had speculated, Minmatar was at tier 3 for a really long time. Was even at tier 4 for a little while. Now it's down to 1. If you had been playing Minmatar all along and you waited until this went down to like a week or two after Minmatar hit this bottom, then do all your manufacturing and sell all this stuff. So anyway, now once I've got all of my items here, basically I'm going to take them to JITA, and I'm going to sell them off. Now here is this particular one. There are several people here. You can see here that the price differences are pretty close, and that several people have posted these recently. So I'm going to have to watch this. My character that's selling this is going to have to check in probably 3 or 4 times a day to make sure that it is the lowest price, even if it's just by 1 ISK, 1/10 of 1 ISK, 1 penny of an ISK, or whatever they call it. I don't know what they call it. That it is lower, yours will sell first. There's a market mechanic that makes sure of that even if somebody selects something else, that yours will sell first. And so anyway, you just want to be that lower amount. You want to check on it multiple times, and you want to see what's what. So I don't have a huge list of items here. Really, I've got 13 items here. Now, this one that I'm selling like 45 of, and 36 and 36, I'll sell a couple of those a day. And I'll just keep watching on the market just the same way on all of these. So anyway, wish me luck. There will be another video later that shows how much we actually made on all of this, and how using this methodology, looking at the market this way, and using these sites actually equated into how much I was able to turn this 1 million LP into. Now, another thing is that the ISK required on this is enormous. And so if you are a newer player and you are trying to convert your stuff, you're not going to do a million at a time. To convert this million ISK or million LP is costing me 1.68 billion in upfront costs. And that's a combination of 675 million in payouts just for the manufacturing, and then if all the product that I had to buy makes up the rest, so just over $1 billion. And so it's not a cheap affair. And also, very, very important again, choose a station that's in high sec for doing your manufacturing, because if you don't, you could be very, very sorry, because you could get popped. Okay, so that is it for this video, and so check out the links in the description to the spreadsheets and to the sites that I've mentioned here, and there will be more, so please subscribe, and take care. Maybe become a billionaire and Eve. Trillionaire. Trillionaire. That'd be a fun goal.